This is the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and this is your last resort. Hey, what's going on guys? Prashil here with my review of the iPhone 13 Pro Max. And this phone is your last resort. I'll keep it simple. If you want a refreshed version of Apple's 2021 lineup and you don't care for a better screen, refresh rate, lighter sensors, or even a better camera system in general, then you should go with the iPhone 13 as it'll serve you well for many years to come. Now, if that's not enough and you want something more, like a bigger screen and a bigger battery, then watch onwards as I explain whether this is really a power user's dream. To start us off, let's have a look at the design. Alright, so the design has been recycled from the 12 lineup with the same matte finish on the back with stainless steel bezels that attract hella fingerprints. Looking beyond that though, we can address the elephant in the room, the huge camera system which really does protrude out from the chassis itself. This is probably the biggest drawback with this phone for me personally, as the phone definitely rattles when typing on a table, and it really just sticks out like a sore thumb. Alright, so moving on to the camera system, and I can say right off the bat that this is the best camera system you'll get on any phone right now. Now the Pixel hasn't been released yet, and that may change the game, but as of now, this is the most complete camera system you can get. You've got your standard 12 megapixel wide camera with f1.5 aperture, your 12 megapixel telephoto lens with f2.8 aperture, and your 12 megapixel f1.8 ultra wide with 120 degrees field of view, and better night mode shots which are enabled by the LiDAR scanner. All three sensors are improved on the 13 from the 12. The main and ultra wide cameras are much faster and are much more sensitive to light, producing quicker and sharper photos with great dynamic range and a high amount of detail in close-up shots. Nighttime shots are also improved as a lot more detail is retained with each shot, as well as a reduction in noise. Portrait and HDR shots are also improved. Now, while the 3x telephoto gets you closer to the action, it still falls short from the 5x and 10x optical zoom of the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. However, photo quality is better. The 13 Pro Max also has a dedicated macro photography mode that uses the ultra-wide camera to produce some sharp and detail-packed photos from as close as 2 centimeters away from your subject. Video quality is still the best you can get on a phone right now, and the new cinematic mode takes us to the next level, which simulates an advanced cinematography technique called the rack focus, which is fun to play around and adds bokeh to natural moving subjects. Alright, so when it comes to the camera system, you really are getting your money's worth. And it's important to note that it's only worth it if you're the kind of person that will go out and make use of the telephoto lens or the LiDAR scanner, which takes quicker shots in low light conditions. Alright, so let's move on to performance. So performance is beyond great. It's really a no-brainer at this point. The A15 Bionic chip, coupled with 6GB of RAM, provides a seamless user experience. I feel like we've gotten to a point where performance at the mid to high range is not a concern anymore. Flipping through apps felt really fluid with no stutters or lag whatsoever. In fact, this is probably one of the highest selling points of this device. It's the fluidity when using it. So when it comes to gaming in general, performance is definitely not an issue. The Pro Max was able to perform spectacularly well, and you know what? There wasn't even that much heating as well. The phone does heat up, but it's not considerable and it doesn't impact the actual performance. So yeah, when it comes to gaming performance, you can't go wrong with the Pro Max. Alright, so all these performance gains are even better on a bigger screen, which by the way has an adaptive refresh rate of 144 Hz, making gaming and day-to-day tasks feel even smoother. And speaking of bigger, the screen itself is very vibrant and gets plenty bright. I haven't had to worry about this even outdoors. And speaking of bigger, this phone is a really big boy. I mean, this phone is honestly so massive that putting it up to your ear to take a call feels like you're talking into a frisbee. Fact of the matter is, it'll probably be less conspicuous talking into a banana. Now, one-handed operation is manageable for me at least, but it's not for everyone. And while I do appreciate the bigger screen and the battery, which has been very helpful in terms of multimedia use, as I've been able to comfortably use this phone for about 2 days with moderate to heavy usage and not have to worry about the battery dying. When on the go, however, it really diminishes the experience for me. Now, I normally wear sports trousers for the comfort, but they don't have the biggest pockets, and so the Pro Max usually sticks out, and if I'm not careful, slides out. And on the off chance I wear jeans, Jamming it into my pockets makes for a very tight fit, and even then it sticks out like a sore thumb.
Now, speaker quality is real decent. You've got a dual speaker setup with front facing and bottom firing speakers, which also make use of Dolby Atmos.
Alright, so my final verdict on the 13 Pro Max is that it's the phone to get if nothing else can satisfy your hunger for bleeding edge tech and the best that Apple has to offer. So would I myself get this phone? Well, the answer to that is no. And this is solely because of form factor. Now, I myself chase bleeding edge tech, but I also like to prioritize a compact form factor, which is something this phone can't offer me. And so if I had to take my pick, it would be the 13 Pro for me. And there you have it, my review of the 13 Pro Max. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I guess we're out of time. I'll catch you in the next one.